Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with another massive news update from the world of wrestling. Last night on Monday Night Raw, the McMahons were there and they announced that 6 NXT Superstars are set to be called up. Well, no, they didn't. They announced that some changes were going to be made and some names were going to be called up. But then later on, in a little video package presentation, it was revealed who those 6 names would be. We'll have all that information as well as a couple of other stories. Firstly, the news that 2 injured superstars are set to return to action. Didn't really say when in the video packages aired last night, but it seems to be impending. We'll reveal who those are in due course. And finally as well, Bray Wyatt has been doing some weird cryptic tweets as he does. He did a few last night that maybe clue us in on a potential gimmick change ahead of his return as well to action. All of that news, and I was going to say and more, but that's quite a lot to be getting on with. So let's crack on and let's take a look at all of today's news. First of all, yes, last night on Raw, the McMahons promised change, and change is what we're going to get. 6 NXT Superstars are set to be called up in the near future. They didn't reveal which brand, which respective star would be on, but they did reveal the names of the 6 NXT Superstars in question. We already knew one of them. We knew that Lars Sullivan was set to make his main roster debut pretty soon, given the video packages on Raw and SmackDown, but there were 5 other names announced too. Let's take a look right now. The first was EC3. Of course, many people will be familiar with him, not just from his recent work in NXT, but also if you're a fan of Impact Wrestling. He was a major player in Impact over the past few years before his jump to WWE. Nikki Cross has already appeared on a SmackDown or 2 here and there, but she is set to get the official call-up very soon indeed. Lacey Evans as well, who competed in the Mae Young Classic and has been on NXT a couple of times as well in recent times. She's also been doing some cool vignettes where she gets across her character and that sort of thing. I think she might be sort of an Elias figure, someone who maybe struggles a bit on NXT compared to the more pure workers around her, but could hit or miss in a big way on the main roster. Finally as well, both members of Heavy Machinery look set to bolster the tag division, but which tag division, Raw or SmackDown? We don't quite know yet, but I'm sure we'll find out very, very soon indeed. In other news, 2 injured superstars are set to return to action as per a couple of video packages that were aired last night to a raucous reception online, because both men are proper internet darlings. They are Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Cannot wait to see those guys back. It feels like they've been out for a long time. Zayn especially, I think, has been out a bit longer than Kevin Owens. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. I can't even remember, but I'm just really excited to have them both back. They're both excellent. No, Zayn was out first, wasn't he? Yeah, really excited to have them back. Sami Zayn did a particularly amusing tweet actually once his video package had aired. He basically said, during this time away from the ring, I've really tried to cleanse myself of any toxic influences and I want to become a better person. But then I saw my video package and realised that I'd forgotten just how good a wrestler I was. Very good stuff. It'll be interesting to see whether Owens and Zayn return as a tag team, because they were kind of, well, at Hell in a Cell 2017, of course, Sami Zayn turned heel, saving Kevin Owens from Shane McMahon, and then they were a bit of a tag team, then they broke apart, then they were back together. It was a bit sort of here and there. It wasn't really confirmed whether their status was as a proper tag team or as just old friends who occasionally helped each other out to further their own gain. It will be interesting to see whether they return as a proper tag team or as solo stars, whether they'll both be heels. I'd suggest that Sami Zayn will certainly be a heel given his tweet, but maybe Kevin Owens won't be. You know, there was kind of a double turn angle when he was injured, because Bobby Lashley turned heel in that match with Kevin Owens, and then because we haven't really seen Owens since, his status is kind of up in the air. I don't know whether he's a babyface or not. Personally, obviously I prefer to see him as a heel. He's a natural and is awesome, but I don't doubt that he has the charisma and the skills to be an excellent babyface too. But like The Miz, he is a natural heel, and I think that's his best role. And finally, let's take a look at those Bray Wyatt tweets. He put some strange posts on social media last night, and they could potentially, they seem to indicate some sort of change of persona, maybe a tweak of his gimmick. I'm not exactly certain what he's going for, but let's read them out and see if you can make sense of this, because I certainly cannot. He tweeted, and this is verbatim, this is exactly as he wrote it: "I'm not a god, I never was. I'm sorry I said it. I was wrong. I know the true God now and all his power. I feel that I am forgiven for all the wickedness I have caused. My soul is clean now. My mind is clear. I see what I did wrong, what was done to me. They took it all." Ooh. That was the first one. Tweet number 2. I have so many things to fix. I realized that I was sick. My mind doesn't work like other people's. It gets lost and attached to ideals that are unrealistic and poisonous. My next journey will be to find my true calling. This is goodbye. And finally, then he did a sort of like a little poem. Each line had like a definite space between them. It was lovely. To all that have loved and supported us, we say thank you and ask that you have faith in us. I was put on this earth to fix it, to change it, and I will not die until this is so. Goodbye, my brothers and sisters. The journey is far from over. Ooh, what could he possibly mean? From that, I can kind of, well, I'll have a little guess at what he means, I suppose. Maybe Wyatt's going to come back as, it seems like they're a bit of a religious fundamentalist kind of gimmick. Not sure how that'll go down in the PG era, but if anyone can pull off a gimmick as potentially controversial and as strange as that, it's Bray Wyatt. May not even be that weird, maybe not even that controversial. The main thing I took away from those tweets was that it seems to be a step away from the mysticism and more a step into just sort of, I guess, more realism-based weirdness. He won't be like summoning zombies to accompany him down to WrestleMania anymore, or like using teleportation powers. This is just all my guesswork, by the way. But I think maybe he'll be more of a preacher again. Maybe a step back to how he originally was back in NXT, that sort of Cape Fear, demented character. But who knows, man? He's left it wide open. I don't know a comic head or tail of it. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching this news piece. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me if you want to on Twitter at JackTheJobber. You can follow all of us at Cultaholic. And if you want to, you can check out our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic. And never forget, of course, if you haven't bloody done so already, to hit subscribe and to join us.